Joe, Al Horford has evolved a lot as a shooter, transformed his game a lot, but this year it seems like he's extra aggressive with his shot. Can you just speak to like that evolution? Is that something that you pushed him to do? Is that just a natural byproduct of this offense? What's going into that?
I think he's grown in the last 2 years as a screener more than anything, and it's opened up stuff for him. It's opened up stuff for other people. So, you look at his career coming out, being predominantly guarded by one matchup and know what he's getting, whereas in the last couple years, he's been guarded by different matchups, and he's been able to, screen versus different coverages and get post-ups, get offensive rebounds, get steals, and if another matchup's on him, he's able to get those open shots, and he needs to be aggressive for our team to be efficient because of his ability to shoot it, but also he can attack closeouts, and he does a good job of reading 2-on-1s when people close out to him. So just him aggressive in general versus different coverages gives us, more versatility on offense.
Joe, one of the first things that you said after you guys won the championship last year was that it was about more than just the guys that were on the current roster. And so, kind of paying homage to former Celtics as well. With Marcus Smart here, what would you say is the biggest impact that he had on this organization that maybe extended beyond his time?
Yeah, I mean, that's I meant that. I think it's important because, there's a lot of people who've worked for the organization for a long time who haven't won, and I've always said, the people who have moved the Celtics forward is what makes this job what it is. And even before I got here, I mean, he just put his mark on the city, really, the way the fans respond to him, the way his teammates care about him, just how hard he plays every night. So to me, it's a chance to thank him for that and for the people that have come before us.
In terms of Sam's comfort level, making plays off the dribble, how have you seen him grow, and what does that do for the offense?
Yeah, he's kind of in a similar situation to kind of Al, where he's guarded different ways by different teams and different players, and the most important thing is being able to catch and shoot for us. But when teams start guarding him differently, being able to make plays, and so you've seen the last couple games his ability to kind of put the ball on the floor and do it. I think that's a growth opportunity for him as a player in general, to be more dynamic, to be more dimensional, and he takes a lot of pride in that. He's gotten better at it.
Joe, 2 challenges last night. One, Al, who was adamant and he was right. Derek missed on that one, or he missed. What goes into kind of the thinking of being, obviously you got into timeouts, how many you would lose or whatever, how many you'd have left. What goes into those two kind of challenges? One was unsuccessful.
Well, you have to listen to the players, and we trust them a lot, and we watch them a lot, and we talk about it a lot. But because of the rule change of adding a foul, the players, it used to be, it's easy to listen to a guy and say, hey, I didn't touch it when it goes out of bounds. But to, now when they can add a foul, like the Derek one, Derek was like, don't do it, I fouled him. And so it was our ball, but they wouldn't have added a foul. And so you have to really, you got to educate the guys, you got to talk about it, and you really got to trust them, because you don't know with the addition of the foul rule now. On the Jalen one, to me, it's not about whether you win or lose. It's the value of it. You have 2 timeouts. You could save 3 points. There's 24 seconds left in the game. The other team doesn't have any timeouts. With the definitions of marginal and incidental, you take a chance on that because the value of it is, you win 3 points and you don't necessarily need the timeout. So there's so much that goes into it. And those particular ones that we trusted Al in the sense that he knew he didn't foul him. Derek knew he did foul him, and then the JV one it was 50-50. You've seen sometimes that gets overturned, sometimes it doesn't. But it was a value standpoint that we could try to save something on him.
Okay, Joe, so the Jalen thing, that was quick, man. Like, you just broke it down, but it just seems like that takes a lot of thinking. And you're in the midst of the game. I know, you're a brilliant guy, but damn, that's a lot of thinking.
I don't really do anything else during the games.
On a spur of the moment.
I don't really do anything else during the game. I feel like that's the biggest part of the game, the biggest pregame stuff. What we do as a staff is to work on all those contingent situations about that, and so watching the late game situations and being able to process information relatively quickly is something that you have to do as a staff. And so that was an easy one. If you have 2 timeouts left, the other team doesn't have any, and you accidentally foul a 3-point shooter and you're up 2 possessions, you should challenge that, because you never know what's going to happen unless it was so obvious, and I just felt like that was an obvious one.
I don't have anything like that. want to go back to growth and Jason in crunch time and clutch situations. How much has he grown in being able to give the game what it needs in that moment?
Just comes with time. Again, over the last 2 seasons with the versatility of our roster, we're constantly being guarded in different ways, and it takes maybe sometimes throughout the game to recognize, what the sub patterns are, what the matchups are, what the coverages are, and so all of our guys, Jason in particular, are just getting better at recognizing that quicker and knowing what they can go to versus player X versus coverage X. Get to the spacing and get what you want from there. So it's just again goes back to what Garrett was talking about. Can you retain information quickly, and can you give the possession what it needs as fast as possible? And they work at that every day.
And then I feel like we really need to ask about the Grizzlies and what have you seen from them as of late, playing much better than the start of the season?
Yeah, anytime you have Moran healthy, this might only be our second time playing against them in some time, but you can't simulate the speed with which he plays with. And this is a team where the best way to defend them is to attack them. And, so if you don't play coherent offense with great spacing and good decision making, and you don't crash properly, and you don't take care of the ball, then it's going to be a nightmare to guard them because of their ability to get out and transition. When you keep it 5-on-5, if you're off the body or above your help, they cut behind you. They're one of the best cutting teams in the league. Great rebounding, and they obviously have the playmakers there. So our defense starts with our offense. Our offense starts with our defense. We got to keep them in the half court. We got to be the more physical team.